Okay, so to make this shape, I needed 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 squares. So my estimate wasn't too far out, but my actual answer is 11 squares. The area of that shape B is 11 squares, and I'm making sure I'm spelling squares S, Q, U, U always comes after Q, A, R, E, S. So I'm spelling squares correctly. Okay, so the next thing we're going to have a go at after that, when you go through the questions on the presentation, is that we want to make shapes using a certain number of squares. So can different shapes have the same area? We're going to have a look at that using the squares that you've got. So I'm going to use 1, 2, 3 squares. Now, when you're doing this, there's one thing to remember. That's a square. It's also a square if I do that. So you need to make sure you're not making the same shape, just rotated. Okay. So I'm going to show you some examples of some cards I've got. Now, somebody has used 5 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and has made that shape. They've made that shape. They've made that shape. And they've made that shape. Now, there are more shapes you can make with 5 squares, but they're the ones that they've made. So they've made those. Now, those two look very similar, and I might think they're the same shape. So just rotated. So to check, I'm going to keep one the same way up, and I'm going to rotate the other one. When you draw these in your book or make them, you could do that by just rotating it, turning it, or walking around the table you're doing this at, or the bit of floor you're doing this at, in order to have a look at it from different ways up. So I've got that way. Okay, they don't look exactly the same. Nope. 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 And back to there. So they're not the same shape. At no point when I turned that one did it look exactly the same as that one. So they are different shapes. So both of those count as another one. So when I'm doing this with my 3, I'm going to start doing this. Remember, no overlapping. And lining them up really, really, really carefully so they match. So I would have 3. Okay, I can do that shape. I'm going to point out that is the same shape, look, because I've just rotated the board. Same shape. I'm going to do that one. I could stick that there. Okay. Okay. So that's that one. 2, 3. And just have a play with it. Just have a think. Move all of these and have a go. Where can you put them to make different shapes? And just keep turning it to see if it looks the same as the shape you've already made. Okay. If you can have a go at drawing these shapes. Once you've made one, have a go at drawing it in your book, and then you've got something to refer to. Have you already made that shape? Have you not already made that shape? But just have a play. You could then have a go at different numbers of squares. What can you make? And how many different shapes can you make with the same area, the same number of squares? Okay, right. Well, I hope you have fun doing lots of stuff with area and squares, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye.